Hi, welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a beautiful day or night. We're gonna dive on in, do a timeless collective reading. Whenever it finds you, it's the right time. See what resonates, leave what doesn't. Remember that divine inner guidance is in you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest and greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. We're gonna do a Celtic cross today. So this could be your situation, what would be helpful for you to know. It could also, if you're a cross watcher, be giving you a little insight on what somebody else is going through, but we're still gonna get you some messages as well. Trust and follow that divine inner guidance in you, and try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest and greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. So beautiful. The first thing to come out is the Ace of Pentacles. So that is the foundational energy situation, and that is a beautiful energy, a beautiful beginning. It's a tangible offer. It's sometimes a great opportunity, a new job. Sometimes I even see this as a big purchase. Maybe buying property, buying a car. Right now it's just still at that ace though. So if you have this seed of potential, you have that golden ticket, you have to get to the chocolate factory. If you have this seed, you have to get out to the garden, recognize where there is fertile soil, and you have to put energy and effort into the everyday and be that gardener to your abundance coming in. It's also consistency and flexibility. You know, if you have a garden and it was like it was today, it was freezing out, you know, maybe you have to take a heat lamp out there. If it's a dry spell, you have to drag the garden hose out there and be flexible if something doesn't go according to the agenda or plans. But let's see what is the bridge or the block to this great opportunity. If the Ace of Pentacles is upside down, it's having that opportunity or that, I just heard a proposal. So, and it's so real. It's so tangible. You can feel it in your hands and you're like, oh, that's a really nice offer. I'm going to go put it in the drawer and get to it later. It's not going to grow a very big garden. So what is the bridge or block to this Ace? I would hope that that is the bridge, because this is getting to work. This is having a look at how big that that telescope is. Maybe it's a microscope. Maybe you have to zoom in. Maybe it's something that feels so far away. How would you ever get there? Day by day, bird by bird. Every time you do something, every time you put energy into whatever this is, a new job, a new skill, a partnership, you get better. It gets a little, you know, you give it your own little flair every time you do it. When you first do that pentacle in the beginning, maybe it took a little too long. Maybe you had to follow the instructions exactly and do it exactly cookie cutter, like, you know, coloring in the numbers. But eventually the next time got a little easier. You added, you know, your own little flair on something. You colored outside the lines a little bit. It's where sometimes in the beginning, you do have to make an investment on something that might not get an immediate return. But you know what? With that 8, it brings abundance in your life later on. It's sometimes where you're in that energy of the apprentice. So if you are an apprentice, maybe you make absolutely no money, but maybe you work with amazing professionals, and the skills you learn, even though you're not making any money, are the skills you need and are what is required for you to really bring in the dough later, or be in a position or be in a job that you truly love. So sometimes it is where you have to be okay with giving something up a little bit or not knowing exactly how good you're going to be. Don't get frustrated if the first couple times, you know, it's a little bit of a growing situation. Get through the growing pains. Get through that learning curve. It'll be worth it. So let's see what your higher self wants you to know. What is a message from your higher self? Or what is something that, you have another ace? You have to have a conversation. You have to act upon that good idea that you have, that light bulb epiphany moment, and you have to utilize those brilliant thoughts that you have. You have to ask more questions. You have to take that idea and ground it into the earth so it can actually manifest in your life. You have a beginning. Your higher self wants you to know that either you're going to have a really clear, I hear realistic and needed conversation, either with your higher self, asking yourself some crazy questions, some realistic questions, changing your approach to something, or you're going to have a conversation with somebody that might change everything. Maybe it's a conversation that brings this new beginning. Maybe this is where if you were unclear about something before, all of a sudden you're clear. All of a sudden that's the truth. Maybe this is about having a truthful conversation. So let's see what you need to get something grounded. What is the foundation or under the surface? Let's ask about the foundation. Sometimes this is considered the unconscious. Wow. Whatever you're going to ground, you have an ace, and the 8 and the 9 of pentacles. So you need to ground this idea. You need to put whatever this is, this beginning, into the earth, because you have the potential for something to bring you that energy of the self-made man or woman. It's the 9 of Pentacles. It's maybe an idea for your own business. The 9 of Pentacles is beautiful. The 9 of Pentacles is sometimes where you did a lot of work. You worked really hard to get where you are going, or, you know, make something happen. But this is somebody who, even though they look like they are decked to the nines and they have all kinds of fancy pearls, this person worked for every single one of those pearls. And they deserve what they have. The 9 of Pentacles is, I hear you're gaining a lot of respect. I also feel like whatever you are working on, it's because you're working on something that you love to do. It's also freedom, because the 9 of Pentacles is usually where the woman's outside in the garden with the big bird and the beautiful, you know, fabrics and the trimmed garden. This is you attending your garden, and you probably did it yourself. And if there's something you couldn't do, you knew how to ask for the right person with a different skill to help you out. You don't have to do everything on your own. That's also an underlying energy with the 9 of Pentacles. Sometimes that person is kind of out there with their animal all by themselves. And I always see that an extra message is inviting somebody over for pizza, tea, so somebody else can enjoy that abundance. Because if you have all that abundance, but you're only just on your own, there's nobody to share it with. So I do feel like there's somebody coming in. I don't know why she's whining, where you're going to be able to share the wealth, share the abundance, even if it's just wisdom that you offer, where you help somebody else gain this sense of independence. I don't know what she wants, but before we continue, I'm going to pause you. just because I like to look at all sides of the coin. If this is about the foundation and this is an idea or a seed planted in the wrong foundation, it could be upside down. I sort of see that as somebody who's kind of selfish, who maybe has a lot but doesn't appreciate what they have. Somebody who is in a situation and requires everyone else, or like high expectations on others to work hard for them, but still not having, it's that lack of authentic appreciation of the hard work somebody else is doing. So I'm just going to take a peek at that upside down, because I feel like whatever this is you are working on, I mean, it could be that if this is a block and there's somebody not putting enough effort into something, because sometimes that is where you have to be consistent with something. So if somebody's blocking your consistent effort in a great new beginning, or kind of being a naysayer on this idea or this truth or this garden you want to grow, then I feel like this is somebody that would probably be pretty lazy and not help you out in the garden. But then all of a sudden it's the most beautiful, lush garden, and they want to invite all their friends over to have a tea party. It's kind of, I'm kind of getting like a stuck up energy, expectations, entitlement. I would say that's probably not the fertile ground to plant this beautiful beginning in. So let's take a look at the recent past. What is the recent past energy or situation? Please and thank you. The recent past is, it's a beginning of a beautiful partnership. The recent past is maybe this idea, this conversation, or this tangible offer is coming in, or maybe because it's the recent past, there was a block and enough effort wasn't put in. You have the Lovers. Maybe this is something that was a real loving situation. Maybe it never got past the start, or past this ace, past this beginning, into where it requires a little work to see how something's going to unfold, how something is going to grow. If there's no effort put in, it's not going to grow very big. But the Lovers is a Gemini energy. I mean, it looks like these two people are just wrapped in each other's energy and arms and passion. There's a piano behind them, so it's melody and music and depth. It's choice. It's a choice in love. It's choosing to open yourself up to love. It's choosing to love a certain person. It's also choosing to have self-love for yourself on what is healthy and what is not. When the Lovers comes through, it's that connection between you and somebody else. It's also each individual's connection with themselves and their higher self, filling up their own cup. And then there's that connection each has to God, to source, to the universe. And it's that freedom. The Lovers is the free will to choose however you truly, honestly feel. Because when the Lovers is upright, it's that desire for the other person to be happy. Hopefully they want to be happy with you, but sometimes that choice is another choice, but you still want that person to be happy. Even if it's a sad choice, it's still a strength. There's still strength there. If it's upside down, it's somebody pushing somebody to feel a certain way that they do not. Or not really tapping into that divinity that it's the allowance of somebody else to be happy, whether it's with them or not. It's kind of selfish upside down. Or it could be that somebody is making a choice that's not really the truth of their heart. Let's see. I feel like I'm going to say this is a really easy choice. Maybe somebody made it more difficult than it had to be. Let's see what's in the recent, or what's in the near future. Let's take a little peek. It's a love that has like been the muse for changes to happen, for a beginning to happen, for a choice to be made. It is coming from the connection you have had with somebody else. And it's also where I hear there's like a lot of growth or clarity within one's soul. It could be just a certain person that you meet where they just sparked a different dynamic in you than you ever had with anyone else, therefore maybe created a lot of changes. If that's a Lover's card and somebody chose other than you or to go in a different way, it looks like you still had a lot of growth. You still gained a lot of clarity and strength, and you still learned more about yourself from that partnership, whether it was 5 days or 5 years or 50 years. You always gain something from it. And it usually comes back to self-love, filling up your own cup. Let's see what's in the near future. What's in the near future? What's going on? What do we need to know about something coming right around the bend? You have somebody that wants to offer love. This guy put on his fancy top hat. Like you caught somebody's eye from the side. So this might be a new person coming in for some of you. This might be, it's a king. So it's somebody coming in with emotional maturity. This is not somebody coming in like a kid. This is not somebody who, they've been through experiences, whether that's one long experiences or many, whether those experiences were up or down, beautiful or weird. This is somebody that has learned from emotional experiences. This is usually somebody who feels a lot more than they let on as well. The King of Cups feels a lot, got a lot of, different emotions going through his body, but he doesn't always show his hand. He only opens up to where he feels truly vulnerable and comfortable. He only opens up to what feels like it's tangible and real. He only opens up when it feels like it's the truth of his heart. So sometimes you don't quite know what's cooking inside of that King of Cups, but when he talks, when he shows his love, there's no denying it. If the King of Cups is upside down, he's a little too cold. He traps those emotions a little too long inside, and usually they bottle up, and then when you shake a soda bottle, and it all spews out at once, or to the wrong person, or at the wrong time, or when he's alone crying, crying in his room, or crying on his pillow when no one else can see, but it's like an overwhelming thing. So King of Cups. Let's see what your advice is. What's your advice? So King of Cups could be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer energy. It's usually a masculine energy. It's somebody who wants to pursue a situation. If that's not pursuing a person, this is somebody who wants to pursue the things that he loves to do. He wants to be in those experiences. But it's his heart that pulls him. If the King of Cups is all in his head, he's always going to feel emotionally off balance or a little bit empty. So what is some advice for you right now? Some advice for the collective. What is the immediate advice that would be helpful for the collective? You have the Page of Pentacles. So maybe you have to I kind of see the Page of Pentacles as a realistic conversation. The Page of Pentacles, I also see as a bookworm, the teacher's pet, the one that I always see it as kind of like the lab partner. You know, it's not the person that wants to just observe and watch somebody play a video game. They want their hands on the controller. They want to try it themselves because it's reality with people, places, and things with the pentacles. They want to, you know, they might hand that pen to someone else, but they also want to write themselves. I am getting that there's a back and forth thing here. This is a concierge at a hotel. So this is somebody who has, you know, these are different cards here. I like that. So your advice right now is maybe to, I actually see you attending a wedding or maybe even going on vacation. I just heard being friendly. You never know who you're talking to. Or where you might get some tangible advice that could be helpful. The Page of Pentacles is someone who has huge potential, but there still has to be more effort placed, more knowledge gained, you know, more hands-on experience with something to get better at it. I feel like somebody is offering you that pen, and that pen has something to do with writing down those thoughts. That's also a brilliant first step to take a beautiful amazeballs idea and start to manifest it in reality. Just write it down, write down your plans. Whether that's a business plan, maybe writing somebody a letter, signing up for a class. Page of Pentacles upside down is kind of imbalanced, shows up to that class, you know, one time, and they weren't as good as they thought they were going to be, so they don't go back. If this is something where you feel a little unsure, I'm just going to get past that learning curve. I also kind of see like, I want to see like a wedding. Or some kind of gathering or party, some kind of event. I just heard a showcase. It was really specific. Maybe some of you were involved in some kind of showcase. It makes me think of like an actor or something like that. Clarify what the energy is around you. Let's look at your environment. So this could be overall energy in your environment or people. What is the outside energy right now? Please and thank you. Also, the page could just be a message, you know, signing up for something, having a conversation relating to a schedule, making something happen, the next steps. I actually do see a calendar. So the energy around you right now is this Queen of Pentacles energy. So you might have somebody around. Now you have a king and a queen. And you can always flip things around if you feel like you're the masculine and someone else is the feminine. Get all these together. So earth sign, I kind of feel like the Queen of Pentacles is almost like, she's almost like the baby empress. The Queen of Pentacles is definitely somebody that would have a great idea, get really creative, and know how to get to work and make something happen. The Queen of Pentacles is not afraid of hard work. The Queen of Pentacles is also usually somebody that can have their own business or do something where they're going to show up. They don't care how, you know, how many holes are in their muck boots or how dirty their hands get. They'll go in the earth and make sure it happens. They're usually very creative. Like, this is usually the queen that I see doesn't hire someone to make that dress. They usually put it together themselves. They're able to make beauty out of almost nothing. They're able to make the simple, realistic, earthy things feel really valuable. It's also a queen that's very sensual, because she, you know, she's earthy, you know, she's hands-on. She's sort of the queen that can melt the clock if you're in her arms. The Queen of Pentacles is also realistic, logical. She just wants to know how it is. No beating around the bush. She's gonna find a solution. She's pretty strong. But I feel like if she was underappreciated or undervalued in any way, she wouldn't be happy in that environment. I don't think she'd even stay. We'll take a look at her upside down. If she was upside down, she's someone that's just lost in the material world, kind of like this person here. In it for the money, in it for the glory, to be seen as successful, but never really feeling successful inside. You know, she's lacking that divinity, that pulling that beautiful ethereal energy and ideas down to earth, then it doesn't matter how many trophies she acquires, they always feel empty. She always feels like she's missing something, because she's missing spirit. She has the capability, like Mother Nature, to really manifest a lot of beauty in her life. But if she's manifesting things, you know, just plastic stuff. Queen of Pentacles usually wants to manifest experiences. So let's see what your hope or fear is. What is the hope or fear right now? Hopes or fears. Hopes and fears don't want to come through. Being kept under wraps. Hope and the fear, I would say that's probably a beautiful hope, is to have the 10 of Cups, is to be in this happily ever. I just said something about trophies. Interesting. They kind of look like trophies, but they are chalices or cups. This is maybe that it's too good to be true. Maybe that a partnership is too good to be true. You won't know unless you get past go here, get past the ace. The 10 of Cups is happily ever after ... Because there's always another day. One day might be like rainbows, butterflies, sunshine, unicorns. It feels like the most blessed day ever. I just got stumbly with my words. And another day, maybe it's a storm a-brewing. It's a hard day. But it's that combination that the best fairy tale is reality. Because being here is a gift through all of those days. You know, if somebody is just completely in la la land, fantasy land, that everything has to be this beautiful, perfect storybook world that isn't really real, that's also going to feel like it's always closed off, confuse somebody. Like dreams never come true. That's not reality. It's having that energy where you feel like just what you have is a gift. Where you are is a gift. The experiences that helped you grow is a gift. The new experiences you get to have is a gift. So it's not getting lost in la la land. It's being around the people that you vibe with, that you vibrate high with, that you vibrate in this energy of love. It's having enough and then some. It can be an ending. It can be the ending of what you thought would be a fairy tale dream come true, and reality set in, and it was someone really not being real or in reality. But I kind of feel like that could be a fear, that maybe it's too good to be true. Maybe it's not. maybe the reality is even better than that storybook dream. It's happiness. And happiness is a lot of your mindset, your thoughts, creating your reality. It's choice. Because even if you go through situations that aren't necessarily happy, you can still choose to refocus those thoughts and your intention towards solutions, towards a better time, towards the things that bring you joy, towards the things that bring you excitement, towards that idea that something might be possible. So let's see what the outcome is. What is the most possible outcome as of now with this particular energy situation? Please and thank you. What is the final message? For the collective today. And any outcome can always change with one decision, one step in a different direction. Or one step that somebody else takes in a different direction. I just said that this is like the baby empress. So you have all of that garden and stuff that I saw before. You are now harvesting that garden. This is either you embodying the empress. And I'm only going to look at her upright today because you got the Ten of Cups here underneath. This could be somebody growing from being, not that it's just a queen, but it's almost like you went from this Nine of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles to the Empress. And if that's not you, that's somebody you're thinking about. That is Mother Nature. The Empress is the divine feminine. Somebody embodying their divinity. Somebody who listens to insight and intuition. Messages that come from God and the universe. And that's what guides her. She's the lover. She's the best friend. She can own her own business. She can birth ideas and then plant them and be there through the whole process of something growing, whether that is a business, a partnership, or even a child. The Empress is the mother, the matriarch, the grandmother, the neighbor, the boss. She's the boss. She's whatever she wants to be because she's the Empress. She's love. She's unconditional love, but the Empress knows her worth. The Empress isn't gonna take a little, this is just a little bit of energy. The Empress knows her value, for sure. But the Empress didn't get to be the Empress because she's had no experiences or no F-ups. She had to learn to value herself from being in situations where she wasn't valued. Otherwise, how does she really know her own worth? That growth comes from experience, not out of nowhere. It's okay. It's, you can have, wisdom that is just kind of in your soul, but there's nothing like the wisdom from overcoming a situation or going through an experience. She's creation. She knows how to create. And then the Empress is the one that just stays. I feel like she's like a fun mom. If she's a mom, she's kind of a fun mom. I kind of see her almost being like a kid and yet still always respected like she's the adult. I feel like she has such an energy, you just want to be around her. You recognize that that's fertile ground. You recognize that this Empress is not afraid to go out there and I just see someone, I just see like with the horses, it just thought of like, I actually just thought of my mom, you know, like going, picking up that wheelbarrow, having her muck boots on and shoveling a lot of horse shit and like just, aw, maybe you have an amazing mom too. Or you're going to be an amazing mom for some of you. Maybe some of you are going to give birth or get pregnant or start a family or even be with someone who has children. Oh my goodness, look at the bottom. You have another ace. And look at that. You have another ace. You have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. And you already have this abundance over here with those cups. Looks like you got a new beginning. Time to get started. As soon as this reading is done, take one step in that direction. What turns you on? Who turns you on? What brings that shooing? Very Wayne's World, enthusiastic, masculine energy. I always just see this as the big old heart on from the universe, where your spirit is just turned on. You're like, ah! And it's no denying the right direction to go in. But you gotta keep that spiritual fire lit. That takes energy and effort. Following that joy. I feel like it's embracing a beginning. Whether that is a beginning independently on your own or with somebody else, it's going towards your happiness, your joy. And when you're in that energy, that vibe, the right things attract into your world, whether that's opportunities, friends, lovers, everything. It just falls into your world. Let's get a message from the universe. If you guys like the Celtic cross, maybe let me know in the comments, because I do all different kinds of readings and I kind of like to go with the flow and the energy of the day, but I don't do a Celtic cross very often. I tend to bounce around with different decks, but let's get one message from the universe. Wow, that was so quick, universe. What does the universe have to say to you? If you didn't get something you really wanted at this time, if you feel stuck, or if you feel like things are not going according to your plans, know that there is something bigger and better, and it's coming. It's something filled with divine magic that couldn't come into your life if you were to receive what you're asking for now. So for some of you, you have a desire, you think that's your happily ever after. What if you having a closed door and not getting what maybe your ego was desiring or what you thought was the real dream? What if your higher self, God, the universe, knew that you deserved even better, and it's been working its way towards you? You just had to have faith, let go, and know it's coming. And I think that that is our reading. I'm going to leave you with these messages today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a blessing to my life. And I look forward to seeing you mañana. Bye.